Hey guys, it's Arlessa on this Saturday coming at you with another video, guys. And in this video today, I am going to be talking about spirit guides. So I'm going to cover what are spirit guides, what are other names you may know them as, because per different belief systems, people may have, different names that they call them, or they may not believe in them at all. But the people who do, this is what I'm talking about, are people who are just interested in the topic that don't know much about them. So I'm going to give you my little 2 cents on some spirit guide talk. So we're going to go into what they are, what are spirit guides, what are other names that they're called, what are some ways for you yourself to get more in tune with your own spirit guides, get to know them, learn their name, just your involvement with them. Maybe you've lived past lives with your spirit guides. There's a lot of different connections there. And then also thirdly, I'm going to talk about how after you've gotten in contact with your spirit guides, what are ways to start to realize when they are reaching out to you on an intuitive level, when they're giving you signs, like maybe visions, when they're, giving you synchronicities and trying to get you to pay attention to certain areas of your own life. So let's just go ahead and get started, guys. Let's just coming up in there with the spirit guide. So what is a spirit guide? Well, guys, spirit guides are also known as like angels, your guardian angels. Sometimes they are referenced as our intuition, but we also have our own higher self, like our own soul, that helps guide us as well. So while I guess technically in a sense our higher self can also provide us as a spirit guide, right? That's kind of cool. So different people know them as different things, guys, and what they are these spiritual or energetic beings that before we come into our life, they are contracted and agree to come when we incarnate into this life. They agree to assist us on an energetic level, right? They help us with our intuition. They help guide us in different ways to help bring more self-awareness to our surroundings and what's going on, within us, because we are very much tied to this 3D world, but we also are tied to our own spiritual connections, energetic connections, and things like that. So our spirit guides are really essential, and they're kind of like our besties, right? They are our besties because they are unconditionally here for us, right? They can't give us the answers, but they can give us the nudges to help guide us. And we don't always listen to those. We don't always listen to those messages, and we don't always listen to that guidance, and we definitely don't always pay attention when we're being nudged, but that's okay, because the beauty about our spirit guides is that they don't judge us. They have patience, and they love us, and they are here to support us. And, we're not always aware of this. And so I'm hoping that after this video, you'll be a little bit more aware of maybe how you, can just start to see, their energy flow in your life on a daily basis. So who are these energetic beings, or these energies, or these spirits? Who are they that say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna ride side saddle with you in your life, throughout your life, in your journey, as your spiritual counterpart, spiritual companion, right? Essentially, that's what they are. And usually everybody has anywhere from I would say anywhere from 2 to and up spirit guides, maybe 2 to 4, maybe. At one time, I think typically it's usually about 2 to 3 at one time. And you can have spirit guides that are with you throughout your whole entire life. You can have spirit guides that are actually only with you through a certain part of your life. Maybe up until a certain age, maybe up until a certain phase of your life. So I've had, 2 of my spirit guides that when I first started meditating and really getting, in on my spiritual journey and learning more about my spirit guides, I found out that 2 of them, the 2 that I was, initially introduced to, were my children in a past life. So our spirit guides are our loved ones from past lives. Our spirit guides are sometimes our loved ones from this life. When they pass on, they come in. My mother, the energy that lived as my mother in this life, has now moved on to being a spirit guide to my daughter, which is really, really, really amazing, guys. So, there's all these different possibilities that can happen with who or what energy our spirit guide and how they are tied to us, right? Because we a lot of people, this is this life and this is our focus, right? And the reason we don't remember our past lives is so that we can focus on this one and gain the wisdom and the lessons and all of that. That's why we don't remember the things, a lot of our past lives, even though it is stored in our soul and we can tap into a little bit. But if we knew the answers, we'd do it differently. So, we have these guides that help us because we're like, what's going on? And they're like, here you go. But then we're like, oh, we overthink it. So, how are some ways that you can get in contact with these spirit guides, right? How can you, well, let me say, you're always in contact. They are always in contact with you, and you are always in contact with them. You're just not aware, right? You don't know that you're doing it. And a lot of times when you get these little like nudges and these pushes, we don't really know where it's coming from, right? And so it's our spiritual team helping us. So ways that you can start to connect with your spirit guide on a more self-aware and knowing level is one, meditation, okay? Knocking my thing around, if it starts, I uncross my legs and I hit the table. So anyways, my brain caught on, I have to say something about it, and y'all probably didn't even notice, but that's what we do, isn't it? Anyways, so back to this, meditation is a wonderful key to tap in because meditation allows you to quiet your mind and focus on everything that's not going on in your physical world. Now, good ways to start this because, right, going into meditation and quieting the mind is a practice, right? It's not something that we could just go in and just immediately do. And if you can, wonderful. Right? But we also have our brain that likes to chit chat and do things and run memories and all the days and all the things when we're quiet, right? We know when we go to sleep, when you're sitting still and you're quiet, your mind gets the best of you. And so meditation, the mind will try to get the best of you, right? But meditation is when you allow those thoughts to just come and then go. You don't sit there and entertain them. Okay, so it is a practice. So I would suggest a guided meditation in the beginning. And if you want to know of anybody that, suggestions, I will say Lillian Eden on YouTube is pretty amazing. I started my meditative journey back in 2012 when I was going through my spiritual awakening. And I did her meditation about spirit guides. So anyways, you can look on YouTube. And ultimately, you will find what resonates with you, right? You'll find the person that resonates with you. Or I actually do stuff like that. So ask me. You can sit with me and I can show you how to do it. I can meditate with you and help you. So that is a service that I also provide. But I also want to give a shout out to the ways that I learned how to do this myself, which is through YouTube videos and, looking at different people's content and really listening to what they say about contacting their spirit guides. So you can go through a guided meditation that walks you through the process, and then you can do it that way. And as you start to connect with your own spirit guides, you can ask them, what's your name? They'll tell you what they prefer to be called. And a lot of times they will show you the way that they want to look. So maybe they prefer it because they're energy, right? They're not tangible like us. It's energy, so they can project what they want to look like to you. And and this is, don't be scared, right? When you're connected with a loving and compassionate energy such as your spirit guides, it's not going to be something that's ill intent towards you. So it won't be anything that feels scary, okay? It's always a very peaceful connection. And they'll show you what they look like. So then you know what to reference them whenever they give you their name, right? And then you can, outside of meditation, now that you've connected and you've learned like maybe their names and you know what they look like. So whenever you're sitting down, you're like, oh, I feel like I want to connect to my spirit guide. You know what to call them, you know how to visualize them, and you know to reach out to them. So energetically, you are absolutely sending that phone call out, right? And anything, anyway, they're next to you. They're literally tethered to you throughout this life. So you can always reach them. You just have to put that intention forward and say, you know what, I want to be mindful and intentful about reaching out to you. And then you sit and you listen, and then you just build that relationship over time. Okay, I've been building my relationship with my spirit guides for the past 11 years. And, I'm always learning. I'm always evolving with them. They're always showing me different things. I'm always getting new stimulations and things like that to where I realize they're giving me confirmation through physical stimuli or numbers and synchronicities and things happening, it's just a really great relationship when you start it with your spirit guides, because it allows you to be more self-aware and to also know that you can ask for help, and ask for help when you need it, and they will always show you the path if you're willing to pay attention. So guys, what are some like synchronicities and some signs and signals and physical stimuli that our spirit guides give us in order to catch our attention? Because they can't jump in front of us like I'm in front of you right now on a video and say, hey, I'm trying to tell you something. Now, can they? No. So they do it, and they have different means. So let's get into some of those means, right? So for me, one of the biggest confirmations for me when I know that I am catching on to what my spirit guides are saying, or when they're guiding me the correct way, is that when I do verbalize or in my mind catch on to an idea that I understand is something that I'm processing and I believe to be true, and if it is something that my guides are confirming, I'll get like those little tingles, right? You know, like when your hair stands up on your arms, I'll get a little tingle or a little shock. Like they'll just kind of get me, and it's a soft ooh, and it's not like a zap. I say zap, but it's not like a zap like electricity. It's more of like a body tingle, and it's unique to each and every person. But this is what my spirit guides know, that this is something that I have learned to understand, is them giving me confirmation. So people who've had sessions with me, when I say, oh, I just got confirmation from my spirit guides, then that's typically usually what happens the most for me, okay? Another way is numbers, repeating numbers. Say, you know, you're seeing 111 a lot, you're seeing 222, and you may be seeing all of these repeating numbers all the time. But sometimes, and that's like, hey, that means you're really aware and they're really showing things to you. So always look into the meanings behind what those numbers could be showing you. And then what your spirit guides are wanting you to do is pay attention to how you're feeling and what you're thinking about in that moment. And then whatever that number is resonating with in the message, then you can apply it to what you were thinking about, or maybe it's something that you're, you don't have the answers to, or you're meditating or focusing on. You know, it could be anything in your life. Okay, so numerical synchronicities, numerical synchronicities is a really huge way that your spirit guides will try to help you bring more self-awareness and make sure that you are, in tune. And then they will show you the different like types of numbers more so. Like say if you're seeing fives a lot, right? You'll see fives way more than you're seeing ones, or way more. So you'll notice that, okay? Other ways that they can get a hold of you is just by what seems like coincidence a lot of times, but when it happens in an abundance, then it catches your attention away from the default understanding of something being a coincidence. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So say I'll give you an example. There's one person that I have in my life that I've known for a little bit of time. Actually, I've known for a long time, just didn't really get super close to them until, a few years back. Anyways, and so every time I know that this person is going to get a hold of me, which is really weird, I will see their initials literally everywhere, and their initials actually spell out a word. So, but it's a word that you don't see all of the time. So it's just interesting the way that they're tied together. And then I'll also see the number 55 when this person is going to start coming around. So I kind of have some heads up. And every single time, and I've learned that is the pattern letting me know that I'm going to have some sort of entanglement with this person, right? Then we're going to, have a conversation or whatever. So that's typically, stuff like that. That's an example. I know that 55s mean personal challenges for me. So when I see 55s, not only tied to that person, right? There are 55. Anyways, that person's tied to my personal challenges though too. So linking them together. But anyways, the point is 55s are personal challenges for me. So I know when 55s show up, my guides are saying, hey, you're going to be going through some mental personal challenges. And then I know, and here they come. So just be aware of your spirit guides and their patterns and what they show you. And you can only do this by intentionally, actively seeking out your guides and being self-aware. So building that relationship is really special, guys. If you have any questions, I'm always open to answer any questions. I wish you all the best of luck. And guys, my time's about to run out, so that's why I'm rushing this ending. But thank you for watching my video, and until next time, bye.